If you Google the words "have Watford," the things that follow will be: have Watford ever won a trophy? Have Watford ever won the league? Have Watford ever won the FA Cup? Something along those lines. Are Watford the biggest team in England who have never won a major trophy? I'm sure the comment section will let me know of a few more, but also if you do search this Watford fact, you'll also come across this website. It's called lastwonatrophy.co.uk, and if you put the link for Watford in there, it will show you how long since Watford have won a trophy, and it's counting up through the years of 24 years. Look, despite having Elton John right behind them, they've yet to win any major silverware. The last success they had was being champions of the old second division, the third tier of the league, back in the 97-98 season. The number one in the UK charts was All That I Need by Boyzone back then. That's how long it's been since Watford have won a trophy, let alone a major trophy, which they've never won. So we're going to be investigating Watford today. I've never done a video about them before, but I'm going to be taking you to their old stadium, which is where I am now. I'm about to brave the snow. We're going to look around here, then go to Vicarage Road and see what we can see and what we can find out about this amazing club who have sadly never won a major honour in their history. Please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe if you're new. It's absolutely Baltic. I've had loads of postponements over the last few days, but I'm here in Watford. I'm braving the elements to bring you this video. And why have I brought you here? Well, this is the West Hearts Sports Club, and this is where it all began for Watford Rovers and what would later become the Watford FC that we know now. I mean, look at this. Jeez, I'm slipping that all over the shop. But yeah, look, here we go. West Hearts Sports Club. This is where Watford originally played before they moved to Vicarage Road. Watford, they actually did win the Southern Championship, the Southern League rather, in the 1914-15 season before they joined the Football League in 1920. And it wasn't until 1922 that they moved to Vicarage Road. So they did win some local trophies before they actually moved into the Football League. But the origins of the club can be traced back to 1881 when Watford Rovers were formed. They were formed of entirely amateur players, but held games at several locations across Watford, but I guess mainly this place that we're in now. The team first competed in the FA Cup in the 1886-87 season, and in 1889 Watford won the County Cup for the first time. My hands feel like they're about to fall off. Let me get back to the car and tell you a little bit about their first ever Football League season. Oh, they're freezing. This might be up there with Greenock Morton as one of the coldest places I've ever filmed in. So a man called Harry Kent was manager of Watford when they won the Southern League title in 1914-15. Due to the outbreak of the First World War, they held that title for about 5 years until after the war. They came runners-up in the Southern League after the war, and then they joined the Football League after that. They resigned from the Southern League and joined the Football League. And look at the Football League. Look at the first ever third division that there ever was from that time. Look, let's have a look at some of the teams in there before we move on to Watford. I mean, they're all, I think this was more regionalised as well. Look at them, they're all sort of southern based. Look, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Queen's Park Rangers, Swindon, Swansea a bit further obviously out in Wales, Merthyr Town as well, look at that. And then Watford's big rivals Luton finished 9th. Who else is in there? Grimsby and Portsmouth, they're quite far away from each other, aren't they? And Exeter, Reading, and look at that, Brentford, who are in the Premier League just now, finished 21st. But yeah, going up the division there, look, 6th is Watford, played 42 games, got 48 points, and had a good first season in the third division of the Football League. But it was in these early days of their early Football League form that they actually moved to Vicarage Road. It's in 1922. So let's head down to their stadium now, where they've been for 100 years, over 100 years now. 2023 in a couple of weeks. They'll have been at Vicarage Road for over 100 years. And there is Vicarage Road right there, the home of Watford Football Club, and here is one of the men that they were most successful under the stewardship of. It's Graham Taylor, who sadly passed away a few years ago, but he is one of Watford's greatest heroes, and he's depicted here on this incredible mural. We'll be getting into Graham Taylor and sort of the Watford golden years in just a second, but yeah, let's go and have a quick look around Vicarage Road. It says Vicarage Road Recreation right there, and look, this is the current squad wearing what I suppose is a recreation of one of the old Watford kits. Look, the 22-23 third kit this is, and this must be in commemoration of this being their 100 years of being here at Vicarage Road. Yeah, look at Tom Cleverley there, holding a ball with 100 on it. And here he is, Watford's greatest ever manager, Graham Taylor, OBE. Look at him, what a lovely little statue this is outside the club shop. Of him just sitting here with his notepad and pen as well. And his watch on, look at that, the detail, the wedding ring, the football boots as well. That's a really, really cool statue of his old Watford jacket on, Umbro. One of the best I've seen that. But look, around here, it does actually tell you the Watford honours. Look, 4th Division, 77-78 champions. 3rd Division, 78-79 runners-up. Had a few promotions there. 2nd Division runners-up in 81-82. 1st Division runners-up in 82-83. That was like golden era for them. 83-84. FA Cup runners-up again. Look, the year after they were runners-up in the top division, they were runners-up in the FA Cup. 3rd Division champions in 97-98, meaning they dropped down a little bit, look, from like the 80s to the 90s, but they rose back up. And then playoff winners in 98-99. And then we have a quote here as well. Football is a simple game. It's a game for the man on the terraces. It's a game to excite people. Could not agree more, Graham. Seem to recognise this road from the Fozcast. Isn't this where the players' entrance is? I'm sure I've seen this on or maybe not the Fozcast, just more like the Cycling GK channel, I suppose. But yeah, here you go. Look, I was going to show you this anyway, but it did say on the Graham Taylor statue just there. Look what Watford have actually won. Look, runners up of the 1st Division in 82-83, sort of one of their best achievements, I guess you could say. But look at that, runners up in the FA Cup as well in 84 and in 2019, obviously the 2019 one when they got thrashed by Manchester City. And then they've also won like a number of lower leagues, your 4th divisions, your 3rd divisions, your 2nd divisions, which were the 3rd tiers. Obviously everything's been renamed a little bit, but yeah, the fortunes of the club really did change when one man came in and vowed to take them to the top tier, somewhere they'd never been before. And it's a tight old ground, isn't it? I mean, look how close the houses are here to the stadium. There really is no parking around here at all. And look, if you are going to park, you're going to park here, but I'm sure you need like a permit or something as a single yellow line. And even round on like the main street where the club shop is and the Graham Taylor statue, it does seem like it's very, very tight. And I've been here for a game before as a kid, maybe a couple of times. I didn't grow up too far from Watford, so it's one of the grounds I sort of came to as a child, and yeah, enjoyed coming here. Never been for a match day vlog. I will have to eventually. Luther Blissett there. So was Luther Blissett here like during the like 80s and stuff when the team were?
Started in the late 70s.
Late 70s and then into the 80s, yeah.
93.
Ah, cool. Elton John stand, yeah. Has he got a box here somewhere, hasn't he? Or he did?
He normally sits in the director's box.
Ah, that'd just be over in the Graham Taylor, yeah.
Over there, right?
Ah, cool, yeah. Right up there. Oh, okay, so the mural's depicting this photo here. 1974, you say?
Yeah.
And so he played here in a charity match, is that?
No, he performed at the stadium with Rod Stewart.
Right, okay.
75.
Nice. And they'd never been to the top tier before. He got involved with the club and then took them there, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. They're in the 4th division.
Yep, no wonder he got a stand named after him as well then. Oh wow, yeah. Here's the change rooms. I've seen this a lot on the Cycling GK. Wow, this is the nicest referees room I think I've ever seen. Space for female and male, I take it as well, yeah? Wow, look at this. Yeah. Wow, this is like a 5-star hotel in here. So what would you say has been your sort of favourite Watford supporting moment of your life?
Well, when I first started supporting them, it was 98 season, so
yep.
They made a local win for playoffs.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, playoffs.
Well, the media.
Oh yeah, media room's massive, yeah.
Managed to do their post-match.
Got Elton and Graham Taylor again.
I think Elton's on everything.
Elton's everywhere. Right, so is that when they were starting to sort of
I think that was the beginning of when they made the FA Cup final, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so mid-80s that is.
So it would have been beginning of 83.
So who were the sort of main players here? Is Luther Blissett in this squad
Barnes.
then? Where's John Barnes in this picture then? Oh yeah, I see him now, yeah.
Luther.
That's Luther Blissett down there, yeah.
As far as my knowledge goes.
So is John Barnes like the best player ever to play for Watford, do you reckon?
It's hard to say. I think most people takes Luther. But
Yeah.
your ones must be up there.
It's 1922 you were here, right?
So that was taken on the 30th of August, which was the 100th match.
Okay, so the start of this season, that was the 100-year game.
That was about, it was the end of August, so the season started the 1st of August, so it was the end of the month. But,
Ah, cool. Historic old stadium, this one.
Yes.
'99 playoff final from
Wembley.
from the second tier to the top.
It was the
division?
Championship to the Premier.
To the Prem. Yeah.
I still remember that match.
Nice. Is that at Vicarage Road then?
Yeah.
So that's Vicarage Road before like modern renovations, I suppose. And that's when they came second in the top tier.
Yeah.
Best ever finish?
Yes, highest is second.
Yeah. Even though I think Liverpool, did they win the title in '83?
I think they won it most of the 80s.
Yeah.
I think we always won it.
But even though you were second, I think there was still quite a bit of distance between yourselves and Liverpool, wasn't there? Oh, so this is the first year you're in Europe. Is that Kaiserslautern you're playing there? Yeah, I can see the badge there. But you finished 11th that second season. We got to the FA Cup final. And UEFA Cup third round, okay. Is that the FA Cup final there? Was that Everton, yeah?
Yeah.
I just turned up there on reception, asked them if I could come in for a quick look, and they duly obliged and showed me around, as you would have just seen. Huge thanks to Chris for showing me around. He was showing me some of the different murals and pieces of like photographs and pieces of art in there, wasn't he? And they were depicting some of Watford's best times, of which there are none, obviously, where they won a major trophy. There was a lot of playoff wins and promotions from the lower divisions, but you wouldn't have seen them holding an FA Cup, a League Cup, or a top tier title. And I did ask him, I think off camera, so apologies if it's in here twice, I asked him, like, are Watford the biggest club without a major honour? And he said that they're the oldest club without a major honour. So yeah, could be true that Watford may not just be the biggest club without any major honours, but the oldest without any as well. Oh, I'm struggling to speak, it's so cold. But yeah, get your old and big clubs in the comments who have never won a proper major trophy. And I don't want to come across as disrespectful. Like I said, I've actually come to see games here before. I think Watford are a really cool club, as they've just shown me around and stuff as well. But yeah, I am just trying to make the point in this video that they've never won a European trophy or a League Cup or an FA Cup or a top tier title. Sorry, Watford fans. I'm not saying it to annoy you all. It's just the facts.
I've made a lot of videos like this one in the past where I've obviously delved into the histories of football teams. Recent ones have been Stoke, for example, or Middlesbrough I did last winter, that was. But yeah, just like videos where I'll come and visit the town or the city and talk about the football team. And usually I do ask to go inside the stadium, and you guys will know that, the ones who've been watching for a long time, I always poke my head in and ask, and most of the time they say no. Reading, for example, was one like that, which are just so busy and they've got a lot of like people in and around the building and stuff. So I understand why most clubs don't. Obviously it's a lot easier with like smaller clubs and non-league clubs, but for Watford, for me to walk in reception, ask the nice lady in there if they do stadium tours. She said not usually, let me go and ask somebody, can't promise anything. And Chris comes out, works at Watford, really nice guy, showed me around. He first off just went, I probably won't be able to show you everywhere, but I ended up getting like a maybe 30-minute tour all around the stadium. So I had an amazing time. A huge thank you to Watford. I had just originally planned on, like I say, even if I didn't get in, just visiting this place that we're at now. We're back where we started, where Watford once played before they were Watford FC, on these, I guess, pitches behind me here, which are currently covered in snow. And then I would have just gone to Vicarage Road, maybe had a look in the club shop, a statue, a mural, and told you a little bit about the club. But the fact that I got in was just tremendous, a really big added bonus for this video. But before I do wrap this video up, I do just want to show you one of the favourite things I always seem to show you in these videos is the league form of Watford. Just check this out. Look, I didn't get a chance to show you this yet, but look at that. Look, from their inception, and as I told you, look, pre-World War II, look at that. After World War I and pre-World War II, they began their Football League life, where they were only ever in the 3rd division. They, look at that, they finished kind of low down in that, but they survived the re-election process. Then they were down in the 4th division, look at that, after World War II, and yeah, just bouncing around Division 3 for a little bit of Tier 2 there, look, as you can see, midway through their history. But Elton John came in when they were in the 4th tier, I do believe. He became the chairman in 1976, so look at where they were in 1976, and just a few years later, he vowed to take them to to the top tier at the time, the first division. They even finished second behind Liverpool. So unbelievable what he's done to the club. No one has helped the club much like he has. And look at that, before he came in, third and fourth tier, a little bit of second. But ever since he's been there, look at that, they've been consistently like second. They've barely been third tier, except for like a year or two. And obviously Graham Taylor is to thank for a lot of the promotions and success as well. They have been to a couple of FA Cup finals, as I've mentioned as well, where they've lost against Everton and Man City. They sold Luther Blissett to AC Milan for £1 million. But all these things aside, Watford are still yet to win a major honour. A Football Manager challenge for you. When I do these interesting videos like Benfica and their European curse, one of their old managers said you'll never win a European trophy if you don't invest, and they haven't since, but before that they'd won a couple. So that's a good Football Manager challenge, the Benfica European challenge. What about the Watford Football Manager challenge? They're sponsored by Football Manager as well. It's plastered all around the stadium. Go and manage Watford and win them their first major honour. Build a dynasty at Vicarage Road. They're an amazing club, and I have to come back for a game, but yeah, huge thank you to the people working at the stadium who showed me around today. I hope that in a few years this video is made redundant and Watford will win a major trophy, an FA Cup, a League Cup, maybe a Premier League. They can come and do a Leicester and come and win the Prem. I think that'd be sensational. So really, really cool club here in Hertfordshire. Not quite London, but yeah, getting that way anyway. A massive, massive thank you for watching. If you have any other teams you want me to cover, drop it in the comment section below. Please do remember to hit that like button before you go, and subscribe if you're new. It'd be amazing to see your little face around here a bit more often. I'll do some videos on screen. Please do click on one to carry on watching. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.